Good morning. I'm Gloria J with Action Speaks, and today is January 20th, 2013. I guess I'll see. In 2009, January 20th, was the inauguration of our first black, or as you would say, African American president, Barack Hussein Obama. And he has again been chosen as our new 45th president of the United States. So this is the beginning of a second term. Also tomorrow, and this is why I'm here, tomorrow we will be nationally celebrating the birth date, which was January 15th, for Dr. Martin Luther King. Tomorrow is January 21st, 2013, in honor of our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday celebration. I shall read to you an article, or let's say an essay, that appeared in Action Speaks Black Community Newspaper, 1983, July. This message is to our black leadership and community. As written, the march Washington held on August 27, 1983, 20 years after the march led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., suggests to me that the black people in this American country yet cry for a king. Quote, Negroes need to express their anger in a variety of ways, in word and deed, in picketing and marching, in singing and shouting. The Negro has many pent-up frustrations, said Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has to get them out, so let him march sometime. Let him have his prayer pilgrimage to the city hall. Understand why he must have his sit-ins and freedom rides. If his repressed emotions do not come out in these nonviolent ways, Dr. King added, they will come out ominous expressions of violence. And of course, we don't want that. This is the paper. This is the page of the Action Speak tabloid, 1983. I shall read on this essay. When Samuel had gotten old, the people of Israel cried for a king, because his sons, which he had made judges over them, took bribes, went after lucre, and perverted judgments. The elders said to Samuel, quote, now make us a king to judge us like all the nations, unquote. Samuel was displeased and prayed unto God. God said, listen to the people. They don't reject you. They reject me, that I should not reign over them. The Lord told Samuel to show them what to expect from the king for which they asked. They refused to hear Samuel and wanted the king anyway, so that they would be like the other nations. Samuel told them that the king would be self-centered, yet they refused to accept his wisdom and knowledge, which God had demonstrated through Samuel. Read the full story for yourself in Samuel 8, 1 through 22. Now, in August 1983, over 200 million people, over 200,000 people joined together because of similar problems and issues which they feel that the American leadership has overlooked due to selfish reasons, selfishness on the part of the administrator. Most of the crowd were of the minority sectors or group. The majority of the people were there in remembrance of the king of the 60s, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Is he to be remembered as a mighty man of power? Or should not his life be remembered as a man who once lived and did Medgar Evers, W.E.B. Du Bois, Sojourner Truth, and others who were led by God to share knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in love and concern for the oppressed people of this world? How long will we magnify the man instead of the deeds as motivation for our people? When we continue to play his speech, emphasize his words as though there is no other, we tell the masses, quote, we need a king because we have not the same God living in us as he had, unquote. How sad for us to keep the masses of Black people living in the past and placing confidence in a man that will no longer be able to stand with us as we pass from one generation to another and withstand the changes that are taking place in our society. The king is not old. He is dead. Yet we still cry for another like him. We have judges such as Ben Hooks, Jesse Jackson, and others. Quote, they are merely human beings, unquote. Don't be disappointed, but so was Dr. King, and he is physically dead. The dream lives because God lives in us. He did in King. Black people have hidden powers that are invaluable to the living in this American society. But as long as we dwell on the memories of the dead and not the God that made his life possible, those powers will remain hidden, and we will continue to be caught up in non-progressiveness. Don't continue to cry to God for another king and place that kind of pressure upon our Black representatives. They are human, and the dedication and concern has to come from the power greater than ourselves, but within, yet from within ourselves in truth, not in human politics. W.E.B. Du Bois wrote, Blacks cannot solve their problems of identity, therefore they cannot achieve their man and womanhood until they are in the position to make or influence the decisions that affect them until they have power. Paraphrase from Crisis in Black and White. Thank you. This is my tribute to Dr. King, a cry for a king. We have now our Black president, or our African American president, Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, and we thank God for him, for changes have been made and progress has taken place since the time of Dr. King. Thank God for the same spirit that was in Dr. King for Black progression and for progression of the little man. That same progressive attitude lives in our President Barack Hussein Obama. May God bless you in this holiday, this national holiday celebration for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. This is Gloria J with Action Speaks.